The teacher asked little Johnny a question. If I gave you 2 cats, and another 2 cats, and another 2 cats, how many cats would you have? Little Johnny. 7, teacher. No, listen carefully. If I gave you 2 cats, and another 2 cats, and another 2 cats, how many cats would you have? Little Johnny. 7, teacher. Let me put it to you differently. If I gave you 2 apples, and another 2 apples, and another 2, how many would you have? Little Johnny. 6, teacher. Good. Now if I gave you 2 cats, and another 2 cats, and another 2, how many would you have? Little Johnny. 7, teacher. Johnny, where in the heck do you get 7 from? Little Johnny. Because I've already got a freaking cat. A girl was complaining to her friend about her pet parrot calling her a whore. Her friend tells her to give him the parrot for a few days and he can sort things out. He takes the parrot home, fills a tub with water, and holds the parrot's head under the water for a bit and asks it, "When you see her, what do you say?" The parrot responds, "Whore!" He dips the parrot's head in another time and asks him again. The parrot replies, "Still a whore?" He's furious now. He dips his head in for a 3rd time, almost drowning him. He asks again. This time, the parrot replies, "Ma'am." He takes the parrot back to her and tells her it's all sorted. She asks the parrot, "If you see me walking home with a guy, what do you say?" The parrot replies, "He's just your husband, ma'am." Girl. "And if you see me walking home with 2 guys?" Parrot. "It's just your father and brother visiting, ma'am." Girl. "And if you see me with 3 guys?" The parrot turns to her friend and says, "FFS, get the tub ready. I told you she's a whore." A lawyer married a woman who had previously divorced 10 husbands. On their wedding night, she told her new husband, "Please be gentle. I'm still a virgin." "What?" said the puzzled groom. "How can that be if you've been married 10 times?" "Well, husband number 1 was a sales representative. He kept telling me how great it was going to be. Husband number 2 was in software services. He was never really sure how it was supposed to function, but he said he'd look into it and get back to me. Husband number 3 was from field services. He said everything checked out diagnostically, but he just couldn't get the system up. Husband number 4 was in telemarketing. Even though he knew he had the order, he didn't know when he would be able to deliver. Husband number 5 was an engineer. He understood the basic process, but wanted 3 years to research, implement, and design a new state-of-the-art method. Husband number 6 was from finance and administration. He thought he knew how, but he wasn't sure whether it was his job or not. Husband number 7 was in marketing. Although he had a nice product, he was never sure how to position it. Husband number 8 was a psychologist. All he ever did was talk about it. Husband number 9 was a gynecologist. All he did was look at it. Husband number 10 was a stamp collector. All he ever did was, "God, I miss him. But now that I've married you, I'm really excited." "Good," said the new husband. "But why? You're a lawyer. This time I know I'm going to get screwed." One morning, my son was doing his math homework. He says out loud 1 plus 6, that the son of a bitch is 7. 4 plus 4, that son of a bitch is 8. I overhear this and I am shocked. My son never cusses, but surprisingly, someone taught him to cuss. I asked him, "Johnny, what are you doing?" My son replies, "I'm just doing my math homework, Mom." My suspicion went to his teacher. Maybe he taught him to cuss like this. I ask him, "And this is how your teacher taught you to do it?" "Yes," my son replies. Hearing this made me worried about the kid's future. I decided to confront his teacher and get him fired from his job. Then immediately I called my son's teacher and said, "What on earth are you teaching my son in class?" The teacher replies, "Right now, we are learning mathematical addition." I asked, "And are you teaching them to say 1 plus 6, that son of a bitch is 7? The teacher starts laughing hysterically. This made me confused when the teacher stopped and she answered, "What I taught them to say was 1 plus 6, that sum of which is 7. A man goes to the doctor to solve his serious problem. He says, "Doctor, I need your help. I have terrible dreams every night, and in these dreams, mice are playing soccer, and it's been like this every night for 2 months. The doctor calmly looks at the patient and after a little thought says, "Oh, it's a solvable problem. There's really nothing wrong with it. Take these pills tonight and your nightmares will stop." The man replies, "Doctor, can I take them tomorrow?" The doctor asks with surprise, "Why tomorrow?" The man replies, "Because they have final match today." As an airplane is about to crash, a female passenger jumps up frantically and announces, "If I'm going to die, I want to die feeling like a woman." She removes all her clothing and asks, "Is there someone on this plane who is man enough to make me feel like a woman?" A man stands up, removes his shirt, and says, "Here, iron this." A man who had never used a cell phone for 10 years finally decided to get one. He went to the Apple store and got an iPhone. After getting the phone, the salesman explained all the features. The man was amazed, especially after hearing about Siri. Excited to try it, he asked, "Hey Siri, how do I look?" Siri replied, "You look very fat and ugly. You should burn some calories." Thinking it was a glitch, he asked again, "Hey Siri, what should I get for dinner?" Siri's response was, "Salad, you fat idiot." Perplexed, the man inquired, "What should I do now?" Siri replied, "Eat salad and work out." Infuriated, the man went to the counter and demanded a refund, stating, "There's something wrong with Siri." The man at the counter replied, "Sir, that's not Siri. You're on a call with your wife." An American who has never been to England walks into an English pub and orders one beer. The waiter brings a glass and puts a mug stand under the glass. 5 minutes later, the American speaks again. "One beer, please." The waiter brings the glass again, looks, but there is no mug stand under the glass. Well, he thinks, the client took it as a souvenir, takes out another one and puts it under the glass. 5 minutes later, the American speaks again. "One beer, please." The waiter brings the glass, looks, and again, there is no mug stand. He thinks the client took a souvenir for a friend, again takes out another one and puts it under the glass. 5 minutes later, the American speaks again. "One beer, please." The waiter brings the glass, looks, there is no mug stand. And he thinks, I won't put a mug stand, and puts the glass on the empty table. The American takes the glass and asks with complaint, "What about the cookie?" A woman comes to the doctor and says, "Doctor, I have a serious problem. You have to give my husband a new He only has sex with me once a year." The doctor calmly replies, "It's not a problem. Bring your husband and we will transplant him a new A year after the operation, the same woman comes back and says, "Doctor, it's terrible. With this we don't have sex at all." The doctor thinks for a while and says, "That's interesting. Bring your husband and we'll talk to him." When the husband comes into the doctor's office, the doctor asks him, "And what is your problem? Is your not working good?" The husband replies, "No, doctor. In the morning I have sex with my secretary. At lunch I fuck one of my female co-workers. And in the evening I fuck my friend's wife." The doctor thinks about it and says, "Would you keep at least something for your wife?" The husband replies, "You know, doctor, I have a psychological barrier." The doctor in confusion asks, "What do you mean?" The husband replies, "I can't fuck my wife with other men's dick." Man was at a bar when a stranger came in. After a while, they started talking, and around 10:30 p.m., the second guy said, "I should go home. My wife doesn't like me staying out late." The first guy said, "I have an idea. Go home, sneak into the bedroom, pull back the covers, get down between her legs and start licking for about 20 minutes, and there will be no complaints in the morning." The guy thought it was a good idea and kept drinking for 2 more hours before going home. When he got home, it was dark. He sneaked upstairs, pulled back the covers, and lit for 20 minutes. The bed got really wet, so he went to wash his face. As he walked into the bathroom, his wife was sitting on the toilet. Seeing her, he screamed, "What the hell are you doing in here?" "Quiet," she exclaimed. "You'll wake my mother." A young couple really wanted to have children, but they couldn't do it, no matter what they did. After several years of unsuccessful attempts, they turned to an old sage who was known throughout the city for his wisdom. He advised them to go to Rome in Italy and place a candle. And so the young couple did. A few years later, the old man accidentally came to the town where the couple he was helping lived, and remembering them, he wanted to visit them. The wise man found their house and rang the doorbell. He was opened by a 10-year-old boy surrounded by other kids. The old man said, "Hello, little boy, how many friends you have? Are your parents home?" The boy replies, "These are not my friends. These are my brothers and sisters. And our mom is not home right now. She went to the hospital." The old man said in surprise, "Wow, congratulations on your new brother or sister. Where is your dad? Did he leave with mom?" The boy replies, "And our daddy went to Rome to blow out some candle." The Holy Father arrives in Paris for the first time. At the train station, he is attacked by a crowd of reporters. One of them asks him, "What is your attitude to the Paris brothels?" The Holy Father thinks, "To say something positive does not allow my job, and if I speak negatively, I will lose my audience." He comes up with an original solution. He makes a surprised face and asks, "Are there brothels in Paris?" For tomorrow, all the Paris newspapers had headlines. The Holy Father's first question in Paris was, "Are there brothels in Paris?"
"Teacher, I'll bet you $50 I can guess what color your underwear is," says Billy. At the beginning of the school year, Billy's teacher is warned never to make a bet with Billy unless she is absolutely sure she will win it. She replies, "Okay, meet me after class and we'll settle it." But before class ends, she goes to the restroom and removes her underwear. After class is over and the students clear out, Billy makes his guess. "Blue." "Nope, you got it wrong," she says as she lifts her skirt to reveal she isn't wearing any underwear. "Well, come with me out to my dad's car. He's waiting for me and I'll get you the money." She follows him out. When they get to the car, she informs his dad that he got the bet wrong and that she showed Billy that she wasn't wearing any underwear. His dad exclaims, "That mother lover. He bet me $100 he'd see your cat before the end of the day."
Subscribe for more.